Week 3 college football breakdown here. We got an SEC versus ACC matchup. Ole Miss traveling to Georgia Tech. Seeing this line move in Ole Miss's favor. They were around 14 and a half point favorites earlier in the week. This line's all the way up to 16 and a half towards Ole Miss on the road. This total is crept up as well from 60 and a half all the way up to 63 and a half at some spots. I disagree with the line movement. Right now, Ole Miss has way too many question marks offensively to where I'm going to lay at this point, 3 possessions with them on the road. I didn't realize Lane Kiffin was going to do this, but he kind of pulled a Jim Harbaugh. He started Jackson Dart at quarterback week 1. And then last week, unbeknownst to me, I didn't have any action on the game, so it didn't really matter. But they started Luke Altmaier at quarterback last week. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and so Dart ended up coming in. There's a lot of uncertainty of, A, is Altmaier going to be healthy this week? And then B, if he is healthy, which way does he go? I tend to think that Jackson Dart will start this game. I think he's the better player and did look pretty good for the Rebs last week. I talked about on this channel, though, that quarterback situation is a lot less stable than you'd think. I mean, it somewhat makes you nostalgic if you're an Ole Miss fan, thinking that just last year we had Matt Corral, who certainly had his flaws throughout his career, but by the time he was a senior, was a very dependable guy. They could really use a guy like that because they got a lot of youth and inexperience at that quarterback position. They can run the ball well. Zach Evans from TCU was a great pickup. They also got Ulysses Bentley from SMU. Should be able to run the ball in this game, although the one thing I think Georgia Tech can do defensively that I feel pretty good about is stop the run. They handled the run pretty well against Clemson, and this is what I want to say about that. A lot of people that I've heard throughout the week talk about this game refuse to acknowledge the fact that was a misleading final score when Clemson went to play Georgia Tech on that Friday night. The wheels eventually kind of fell off for Georgia Tech, and they ended up losing that game 41-10. If you watch that game, it was astronomically closer than that. Georgia Tech gave Clemson a pretty good effort, and eventually Clemson did start to get some things going offensively, but I do think Georgia Tech can stay competitive in this game. Jeff Sims is one of those guys that has been a little bit too inconsistent at quarterback for Jeff Collins and the Georgia Tech program. He's just thrown too many interceptions throughout his career. But the arm talent is there. The one thing I don't like about what I saw in that Clemson game is that they just refuse to air it out. And it's probably because they're having to deal with that Clemson front four. And probably didn't trust the fact that they'd be able to have enough time to be able to create some of those longer developing plays. But, Sims looked good, but they just didn't really open up the offense in that game. I worry a little bit that could be same issue here. I do think Georgia Tech can get stops, though, because as good as Zach Evans is going to get his yards, but this quarterback situation at Ole Miss is not – their team total for this game right now is going to be at 40. The total's at 63 and a half. They're 16 and a half point favorites. They're projected to score around 40 points. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. First road game, they lost a lot off of last year's team. They're not great at the wide receiver position either. So this passing offense is significantly downgraded from last year. I even thought it was overrated last year too. New offensive coordinator. There's too many moving parts for me to expect Ole Miss to just run away with this game. I think I might isolate Ole Miss and just play that team total under the 40. I just can't trust Georgia Tech's offense. I don't know if it's going to make my card officially, but I do lean towards that Ole Miss team total under the 40. I've actually already released 4 best bets here for week 3. Gave those out this morning here on Wednesday. Plan to have the rest of my week 3 card out by Thursday. Main place you can follow to see what I'm on officially is Twitter. Follow me there at Fordham Betting. One more thing, guys. Check out proud90.com for all your golf apparel needs. You see this shirt right here. I know you've been staring at it the whole time. They got unique but very comfortable polos as well. They got t-shirts, hoodies, quarter zips. Browse their selection, and if you see anything you like at checkout, use code Fordham. It's going to get you 15% off your order. The rest of the information will be in the description below. Proud90.com, code Fordham. Support me, support Proud90, proud90.com. So I do think this is a lower scoring game, especially on that Ole Miss side of things.